Great morning, students. I am Neeraj sir. We are going to study science lesson number 2, part 3. I hope you all are fantastic at home. We have already discussed first 5 topics in the previous 2 videos. Today we are going to discuss the next topic, that is harmful microorganisms. This topic is also very important as it is also related with our day-to-day life. These harmful microorganisms are causing diseases to us, and we all want to live a healthy life. And due to these diseases, we all are getting disturbed. Our family members are also getting disturbed. So we should know how these diseases are spreading from one person to another, and which are the preventive measures that we should take for preventing ourselves from the diseases. So let us begin this interesting topic, harmful microorganism. So harmful microorganisms. How these microorganisms are harmful to us? Microorganisms are harmful to us in many ways. Some of the microorganisms causes diseases in human beings, plants and animals. Such disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. So remember this definition of pathogen. This is a new word for you. Disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens, because this word is coming many times in your lesson. Now, how pathogens enter our body? Pathogens enter our body through the air we breathe, the water we drink, or the food we eat. They can also get transmitted by direct contact with an infected person or carried by an animal or insect. You can see the first 3 images shown below. So these 3 are also pathogens. First is HIV virus, which is causing AIDS. Second is tuberculosis bacteria, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Third is coronavirus. You all are knowing well about coronavirus as it is the current topic. Now next is types of diseases. There are various types of diseases. Some are hereditary diseases, some are communicable diseases, and some are non-communicable diseases. So in this lesson we are going to focus mainly on communicable diseases. So what are communicable diseases? Microbial diseases that can spread from an infected person to a healthy person through air, water, food, or physical contact are called communicable diseases. Means in simple word you can say that these diseases spread from one person to other person. As the name also suggests, communicable means which can spread from one person to other person. The examples of communicable diseases are cholera, common cold, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. You can see the images, first 4 images shown below. The first image is of cholera patient, second image is common cold, third image is showing a small child affected by chickenpox, the fourth one is the tuberculosis patients. And one more example of communicable disease is coronavirus. You all are taking care, you are wearing mask, you are washing your hands, because you know that if you don't take these cares, what will happen? You can also get affected by this coronavirus. Now, insects as disease carriers. Insects are also helping to carry these microorganisms or pathogens. So, in which way insects are helping? So, we will see. First, examples of these insects which are causing diseases are mosquitoes and houseflies. The flies sit on the garbage and animal excreta, and pathogens stick to their bodies. When these flies sit on uncovered food, they may transfer the pathogens, and whoever eats the contaminated food is likely to get sick. So, it is advisable to always keep the food covered, and we should not eat the uncovered food from the roadside. Second is mosquito. You can see the images Anopheles mosquito. The first image is showing Anopheles mosquito, which carries the parasite of malaria, that is Plasmodium. The second image, the blue color dots you can see, that is the Plasmodium. So this parasite means what? We have already discussed. Parasites are those microorganisms or living things which are depending on the other microorganism, or they are living in the body of other microorganism for their food. Second is Aedes mosquito. Aedes mosquito is the carrier of dengue. It's actually the full name of this Aedes mosquito is Aedes aegypti. This Aedes mosquito is carrying the dengue virus. You can see the second image, this spherical image is of dengue virus. So this Aedes mosquito is spreading the dengue virus from, you can say, in the form of its mosquito bite. So when it bites us, the virus is also getting inside our blood. And once we get this dengue virus, we are facing various symptoms like our platelet count is decreased, we are getting acute fever and headache, vomiting, and pains in the eye socket is also very important prominent symptom. So these are the symptoms for dengue disease. And this disease is very dangerous, it can cause death also. So for preventing this spread of mosquitoes, we should always take care that there is no stored water in your home or outside. You can see many times the water is stored in the tires or tubes. So we should prevent that stored water because these mosquitoes breed very well in the stored water. Dirty water or puddles of water is also there in the road. So we should always empty the containers, and whenever we see the stored water, we should empty that water because in that water mosquito can breed. These are the some common human diseases caused by microorganisms. You can see first, tuberculosis is a bacteria. The name of that bacteria already I have told you, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. You can see the mode of transmission is air, and this preventive measure is common for all the first four. Second is measles. Third is chickenpox. Chickenpox virus already I have told you, that is varicella zoster. This chickenpox virus is also transmitted from the air or contact. And third is fourth one is polio. Polio is also caused due to the polio virus, and it is transmitted with the help of air or water. Second, then next is cholera and typhoid. The pathogen which is causing the cholera disease is Vibrio cholerae. Vibrio cholerae is a bacteria, and this mode of infection is through food and water. Next is typhoid. Typhoid, the bacteria which is causing the typhoid disease is Salmonella typhi. It is also a bacteria, and this typhoid is infection. The mode of infection of or transmission of the typhoid disease is food and water. So in the same way, you can see the other things are given. Now, disease causing microorganisms in animals. So Robert Koch in 1876 discovered the bacterium Bacillus anthracis, which is causing anthrax disease. It is a dangerous human and cattle disease. Now, how this disease spread? The bacterium known as Bacillus anthracis produce dormant spores, not active, that can live in the environment like soil for a long time, even for decades. When the spores get into the body of an animal or person, a place rich in water, sugars, and other nutrients, they can be activated and turn into active growing cells. You can see the blue cells are grown in large number. You can see the image. When they become active, the bacteria can multiply and spread out in the body and produces a toxins, poisons, and cause severe illness and death. You can see the first image. You can see the nose area of this cattle. It is this cattle is affected by the anthrax disease, and second image is showing the anthrax disease. Second image is showing the bacteria of anthrax disease. So this is the Bacillus anthracis under microscope. This bluish structure you can see, this is the Bacillus anthracis. Now some common plant diseases caused by microorganisms are shown in these images. First is citrus canker, which is caused by bacteria, and it is name is citrus. It is generally affecting the citrus fruits like lemon, oranges, and all. Now figures are also shown Some small spots are seen on that lemon. Second is rust of wheat. It is a microorganism which is causing the rust of wheat is fungi, and the mode of transmission is air or seeds. You can see the leaves of the wheat are getting yellowish color due to this fungi. Third is yellow vein mosaic of bhindi okra. So that is due to a virus, and the mode of transmission is insect. You can see the veins of the leaf of bhindi are becoming yellow due to this virus. Now, non-communicable diseases. The diseases which cannot spread from one person to another person due to air, water, or food are known as non-communicable diseases. The examples of non-communicable diseases are cardiovascular diseases which are related with our heart. Second is diabetes. What is the reason for diabetes? Can you tell me? There is a hormone which is secreted inside our body named insulin. So this insulin is controlling our sugar level of the blood. So if this our body stops secreting this hormone insulin, then we are getting this diabetes. So this diabetes is also a non-communicable disease, because if your parents have disease, you may or may not have this disease. This is a non-communicable disease. And also that is chronic respiratory diseases like asthma, or you can say various other lung diseases. And next is cancer. Cancer is uncontrolled growth of cells. So this cancer is also non-communicable diseases. Means we can eat food with the cancer patient, we are not getting the diseases by sharing the food or by talking with them or by air. Now next is food poisoning. Many times you go to the large gatherings like marriages and other, so you can see many times if you eat food from the outside, you get vomiting, and many times you get diarrhea. Diarrhea means what? Dysentery. It is a type of dysentery. So many times you are feeling uneasy after eating the food from outside. So these all are the symptoms of food poisoning. Food poisoning could be due to the consumption of food spoiled by some microorganisms. If the food is kept uncovered, then microorganisms grow on that food and produces toxic substances that is known as enterotoxins, and that enterotoxins are poisonous for us, and these make the food poisonous and causing serious illness and even death also. So many times you may have read the newspaper that many people have died due to food poisoning. So the if you see the images, you can see the symptoms of food poisoning: abdominal pain, diarrhea, fever, nausea, vomiting, and malaise. Malaise means uneasiness. If you are not feeling comfortable, then it is malaise. So that's why we should avoid the food from the large gatherings, and we should always eat a healthy food which is covered properly and which is stored properly. We should not eat the open food from the roadside. Now, which are the preventive measures that we should take for preventing ourselves from these harmful diseases? These are the preventive measures. You should wash your hands before handling food, especially after using the toilet. And avoid eating open food or roadside food. Drink water that has been boiled, because boiling kills microorganisms. Or you can use a good quality filter at your home to filter that water. Cover your mouth when coughing or sneezing to prevent microorganisms from spreading into the air. Do not share personal items such as toothbrush, towel, and comb. So these all are the basic things which you can do for prevention of these diseases. Now in this way we have completed the topic harmful microorganisms. Now in the next topic we will discuss the food preservation techniques, means in which way food is preserved for long time, and then nitrogen cycle and nitrogen fixation. Then our lesson will be over, and after that I will give some job sheets and textbook exercises for you to solve. I hope you have understood this lesson and you have enjoyed this lesson. Good day. Thank you students for listening this lesson.